I could bring her back to the senses. Get right into the sun. Maybe have a little fun on the side. On the side.
Welcome back to Unprofessional Fishing by Fish on Bass Anglers. We are going to have a little discussion about the 2026 season and the upcoming tournaments for the spring. We've already had the schedule decided upon. It is available on fishonbassanglers.com if you want to check it out. We're going to go through at least the first 2 dates here and just get everybody ready for the season. I think we have a great schedule.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I mean, we all voted on it. That's how the schedule works. We're able to voice our opinion into the lakes that we go, the time of year that we go. You know, I think it turned out to be a great schedule, and I'm biased because I voted for all my favorites. But, you know, where do we start the season? We're starting in March again, right?
Yeah, March 28th, Lake Anna. You know, Lake Anna's all everybody's talking about around here this, past couple of years. So it'll be the first of 3 tournaments there. But yeah, March, late March, we're going to be out of the sort of wintertime mega bags. It'll be before the big sight fishing waves. I mean, maybe a little bit and lower end of the lake, but
they do have that winter tournament schedule that goes on Lake Anna, right?
Yeah, and they've been smashing them.
Yeah. Like 30-pound bags and stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, close to it. I think high 20s.
Yeah.
Pretty much every week. So
it's a good place to fish.
Yeah.
Glad we got it 3 times.
Yeah. So we'll be there 3 times, but yeah, starting in March, I mean, sometimes we start in April, sometimes we start in March. I think the late March, start date will be fun. I think it'll be, maybe not quite as good as it could be if it were a little bit later. But not to get ahead of ourselves, but we are going there a little bit later in the year too. So I think we'll have the best of both worlds. I think, getting there in the pre-spawn is going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's Anna, so there's always a chance of a big fish, but I mean, pre-spawn is the highest chances of a big fish. So I think, it's probably going to be the odds-on favorite for the biggest bass of the year. It's probably going to, if it's not that tournament, and it's going to be Chickahominy maybe later in the year, but I mean, that's a good shot for getting a big fish.
And I've had to wrap my head around it because I didn't vote for this tournament. I didn't want March. I mean, you and I both have early season not success and success, but that cold weather bite is tough, and I would have rather had our season start later. But the more I think about it and the more I wrap my head around it, there's not a lot of locations that you can go at that time. And honestly, Anna's been great, and it'll be great there. I mean, we have the Potomac we could fish, and Black Hill, which we started last year.
Yeah, Black Hill's always an option. Black Hill is thoroughly dependent on what kind of winter you have. It's like we had a pretty late winter, late spring last year. So Black Hill wasn't there yet. Like,
it was tough.
The water was cold. I caught none. So,
Yeah, you had 19 pounds.
No wonder boats. It would have been awesome.
Yeah,
but
I should have just followed you around.
Black Hill is very dependent on when it starts to warm up. It really hadn't started to warm up till like that week, so you're not there yet. I went out and practiced, didn't catch crap for 2-3 days, caught 1 or 2 fish. It's like, all right, I'm gonna. Anyway,
it is a smaller body of water, so it does get cold. I mean, there's a chance that it freezes. At this point, I don't think it's going to freeze, but there's a chance that it gets way colder than any of these other larger lakes around here.
And when you look at where can you fish, and do you want to fish end of March or beginning of September? I don't want to fish beginning of September. It's not fun. So all right, end of March, where can we fish? Well, we can try the Potomac. Still a little dependent with the grass. When winter's going to end, when spring's going to start.
We've also tried to do that before and gotten it canceled.
Yeah. So there's your other problem is small craft advisories like every other day and a typical end of March. I mean, I've smoked them there in the end of March. The one tournament that we had canceled for a small craft advisory, I went out and fished with Joe 3 days before it, and we each had 15 pounds in like 5 hours. It was awesome.
I've never done
it was
that.
One. It was my a top 10 day on the river for me in 15 years of fishing it. So, but yeah, are we going to get canceled there? Is it going to get moved to Black Hill and then suck? Are we just not going to fish? So where's your options then? All right, Anna.
I think we got the best option
And
in that
right.
spot.
And it's like, oh, so that's all we're left with. All right, well, it's the best local lake the last few years. It's fishing awesome. It stays generally stable. Dudes are catching them all winter. I mean, smoking them. So
Yeah, there's 8
Yeah.
16-pound fish.
like I've never fished there in March.
Yeah.
I have almost nothing with forward facing sonar. I have no clue where I'm going to go, what I'm going to do. But like you're telling me there's a lake with 10 pounders in it and it's going to be active. There's going to be fish. I get to fish a little offshore, this and that maybe. I'm excited for it. With no clue what I'm going into, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
So it's of what you can fish in the end of March. I don't think that you could argue that there's anything that would be significantly better.
Not within 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, and if you could, unless you could predict the weather and you're not going to be blown out on the river or the bay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost no contest. Now, I was a big fan of the Black Hills in March, but I love fishing cold water, so I'm excited for the Anna one, and I hope it's a cold winter, and that's a cold water tournament for Anna. But I mean, if it's a warm winter and a warm spring, I mean, you guys that don't want to fish in March, you might be singing a different tune when we get there if it warms up quicker, because it could be. I mean, it could be on fire.
Yeah. Well, the other good thing too is the way that we schedule it and the way that we set it out is we start on a local tournament. So we don't start with a travel generally. We have in the past, but you get a local tournament to start out with. Anybody that's new to the club, anybody that wants to join has the availability and the ability to go to it and join and jump right in on Lake Anna, who, if you're on social media at all, if you're on YouTube, is blowing up.
Yeah, if you're a local guy, it's all you see.
Lake Anna is the place to be.
Yeah.
So it's a great place to start. Anybody that already fishes there or fishes there over the winter or has a history that wants to join us, it's in Virginia. Our club's out of Maryland, but you can live wherever you need to.
Right, yeah.
Meet us on the lake.
I mean, if you fish Lake Anna all the time, we fish 3 tournaments there. If you join the club and all you fish is those 3 tournaments, I mean, you'd have a good time.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that if you fish those 3 tournaments, you'll probably end up fishing some other ones because they're super fun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're down there, you've got Kerr, you've got Gaston, you've got Chickahominy. Like, you're closer than I am to all.
Right. Because I was going to say, we're going to all those. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier for you than they are for me, and I'll probably fish 8.
More local to somebody that lives in Fredericksburg than it is for us.
Correct.
But I mean, yeah, like if there's guys out there that fish Lake Anna a lot, dude, we're fishing there 3 times this year. So you're going to get your money's worth for being, it's not, our dues aren't even that expensive. Right.
Right.
And it's not like you have to commit to anything else. It's just a la carte. So,
and you have all those guys that are catching those bags on Anna, the wintertime series guys. Obviously those are local hammers. I don't know who those guys are because they're not fishing in FOBA. I don't know who the guys that are doing the YouTube episodes on Lake Anna are, but you know what? If you're doing it, then you can come over to FOBA and kick our tails. Like, we'd welcome the competition. We'd love it. So
come on, take my money.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, if we get a warm spring, and I think we're due for one, I'm going to be dirt shallow and up on my tippy toes and staring at them. And you guys are in trouble. I'm going to be all the way down in that little bit warmer water, just staring at
You'll be able to do that no matter
my
what, man.
poor co-angler
down there for that.
Yeah.
My poor co-angler.
And then after Lake Anna, the second tournament is Gaston, which then you get a travel tournament. You get the 2 days. You can go down there and fish 4 or 5 days if you want to. I mean, Gaston's one of the best places that we fish.
That'll be the best tournament of the year.
There's a reason that Gaston gets put on in the spring and the fall. Like Gaston, every time we go there, everything about it is one of the best tournaments of the year for me. It's a great place to go. There's lodging everywhere you want to stay. There's an Airbnb. There's docking for your boat. Like, you literally can do anything and stay anywhere and do anything you want. There's a restaurant that's close. Like, these are the things that go into the schedule too. Like, we think about this ahead of time, that it should be fun for everybody to go.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, that'll be the best event of the year for a lot of reasons. Number 1, the fishing's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But number 2, the travel tournaments, I think, obviously it's not as easy to make a travel tournament, right? Everybody's got different circumstances, but like if you can make one travel event, that would be the one to try for, right?
The spring Gaston,
the
specific
Gaston, yeah, because it's I don't know, man. We're gonna get a house, like everybody kind of rent. Most people, they'll rent a house with a group of people, hanging out on the dock after a practice day, grabbing a burger. you know, outside of the fishing, it's just a ton of fun. I mean, it's basically 4 days of just nonstop high level bass fishing.
Right. It's a fishing vacation where you get to fish in a tournament 2 days too. Like,
Exactly.
because
And-
people take the time off. People go there with their wives and dogs, and like
Some of them do, yeah.
people have brought all kinds of people down.
Right.
It's still fun because everybody gets together.
Yeah.
We all eat at the same 2 restaurants. Like,
Yeah, there's only a couple.
right. So
So-
you know, it's fun to go down there. Shout out Lake Gaston Pizza. You know, it's one of those places that, you know, you can get good food. You can sit around. You can grill out. I mean, sometimes guys will do a whole grill party. Like, it's outside of fishing. It's a great location to go.
But I mean, but fishing wise, it's going to be awesome too. I mean, you know, I think everybody knows about Gaston, but you know, for a long time, everybody was kind of focused more on Kerr, you know, or James Chickahominy River. And, you know, it's not that anybody forgot about it, but you know, the spotted bass got in there and was kind of seen as a negative thing. But now, you know, spotted bass are getting big.
Well, that'll be another thing that makes the tournament a lot of fun too. And I know from fall and going there in fall, you can fish it very differently. You're a largemouth guy. You're going to be a largemouth guy. You might change your tune depending on what happened in this last tournament.
We'll see.
Little third place finish, but you know, it's one of those things where you can target a different species in the second tournament of the year. You don't have to go for largemouth shallow, which you probably will.
Oh, I'd love to. That's what I planned on doing. So we fished it this time last year, more or less. And I was like, man, I'm a bed fish, largemouth shallow. That's all I'm going to do.
Nope.
A little dirty. It was a little, you know, that made it tough there. But, you know, I'm fishing shallow for largemouth and I'm catching 3-pound spots.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, okay, well, if this is going to happen, I'm not really going to look at these. I'm not going to waste my time getting in these pockets. I mean, I threw a chatterbait for 4 days and smoked them.
Yeah.
And I didn't win, you know, whatever. But for never having been there in my own boat, it was awesome. I caught awesome limits 4 days in a row. And it was like a vacation, you know, it was fishing vacation.
Yeah.
It's freaking sweet with, you know, no clue. Just like, all right, cool. I found one thing that worked. It's working all in this stretch of the lake. I'm running it. It's awesome. It's what I want to do. And then I get back and people are like, I caught him here doing this. Like 20 different things people caught him on.
Well, I was going to say that's another thing that's fun about it is it's not going to be all one pattern.
No.
The way that lake sets up, like you could be fishing grass, you
Yeah.
could be fishing docks, you could be fishing, like there's a million things that you could do.
Shallow.
If you're
spots, largemouth. Yeah.
forward facing sonar, like
Right.
there's a million things that you're going to try to do because that's the way you like to fish. Gaston is conducive to that.
Yeah.
You can catch those fish anyway and you can do well. I mean, you were largemouth in the spring last year. I tried to go after spots and just call them up.
Yeah.
Guess what? I came in with pound and a half spots and you had 4-pound largemouth.
Yeah. And it's also a tournament where every single person could weigh in a limit. Like it's pretty rare that 90 to 100% of the field weighs in a 5-fish limit 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
But Gaston is a place where it can happen. Gaston is a place where we've had every single boater weigh in 2 limits in a row. So they weighed in a limit the first day and a limit the second day. 100%, 100%, you're batting 1,000 or however you want to say it.
Sure.
Which is pretty impressive. I mean, that's a lot of fish caught. Like if you think about, you say, if you're a bass fisherman and you want to go on a vacation somewhere, you guys think about Gunnersville, you think about, a Florida lake, you think about this and that. And like, sure, you catch giant fish there, right? Like they're obviously destination lakes, but if you just take the names of the lakes off and you say, okay, you're going to take a vacation to a lake and you're going to catch 25 bass a day or maybe.
Well, if you want to throw a Ned rig,
right.
900.
Right. But like, 25, 30 bass a day, maybe.
Yeah.
On an off day, you're still catching limits of fish.
Yeah.
Dozen different ways to catch them.
Yeah.
4 to 5 pound largemouth, maybe a 6, 3 to 4 pound spotted bass. I mean,
and a lot of cookie cutter 3 to 4 pounds.
Right. And you would look at that. If you took the names of the lakes off, you'd be like, man, where did he go? Did he go to Smith Lake, Alabama? Did he go to, did he go to Lake Lanier? Like, what? No, man, that's Gaston.
Yeah.
That's the thing, too. We're talking about everybody caught a limit. All the boaters caught a limit. That's, 12-inch plus.
Mm-hmm.
If you just want to go and catch, how many 10-inchers did you catch
yeah.
at Gaston last fall, last spring? Like,
Right.
You're going to catch a ton of fish.
Yeah.
Whether, I called a bunch of times. Everybody's probably calling, but like mixing in, you're catching fish.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
you know,
you had a guy in fall where we launched from, and we have a dual launch. So there's 2 places you can launch from. There was a guy that blew his motor, stayed in the cove where we launched, and came in, what, 4th or 5th? His co-angler won.
Yeah, his co-angler.
Like, he didn't even have a big motor. He didn't motor around the lake. He stayed right where we launched and still had a great time.
Yeah. And that was in the fall.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
not, you know, spring's unquestionably
Right.
better fishing.
right. And we're not saying it's easy, but like, you know, there are the opportunities to catch fish.
If the weather lines up right for that tournament, I mean, it literally will be easy. Now, you know, we're not that lucky.
Right.
but it'll dump rain.
But it's
Oh,
possible.
It'll blow.
But like, you know, it's happened before. Like,
Yeah.
It's lined up perfectly for us before, and I mean, just everybody catch fish all day, every day.
Yeah.
But like, even if it dumps rain,
No.
even if it pours,
It dumped and
still
blew wind
bunch of fish.
day 1 last year.
Yeah.
And I
Oh, yeah.
caught 12 pounds
Yeah.
by 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know anything. I'm a dummy there.
dumping rain is good fishing weather.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Like, it was, you think spring, cold rain, that's
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
Right.
Caught fish.
All right. Well, going on and expanding on that, then you saying you're a dummy and you can't catch the fish there, and you're new, like, you still caught a limit, you still caught the fish. You don't have to tell us exactly how you did it, but how are you going to go about it this year, and what bait do you like to use?
Oh, I'm going to do the exact same thing I did last year until it doesn't work. I'm going to run around the lake and look for fish on beds, and I'm going to throw a chatterbait until my hands fall off. If that doesn't work the first day, I'll figure it out the second day and, you know, adjust. You know, there's always fish on docks. There's always fish on points, but like, I want to sight fish. I want to go there and sight fish. If I can't see them, I'm going to fish around where they should be. If I'm not catching them up there, I'm going to back off.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, I mean, I think I got 5th. I had a good second day, but that was exactly what I did then. And it's like, all right, if they ain't here, they ain't here, they ain't here, you just move.
Yeah. Okay. And we already know what you're going to be doing, Mr. Sight Fishing. So,
yeah.
like,
Well, no, last year they weren't.
yeah, like
on
I said, it was muddy, or at least you couldn't see it.
They weren't on beds yet. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
And so, I mean, the last couple of years there, I've put all of my eggs in the largemouth basket, which is high risk, high reward. And I've had good tournaments. I mean, I got second last year by only a few ounces. I mean,
Yeah.
Greenie caught that
6
pounder.
The only bedfish.
It was the only bedfish caught in the entire tournament
Yeah.
on the second day.
Yeah.
And so, you know, him winning a tournament on Gaston is no surprise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm at a largemouth fish. If they're on the beds, I mean, that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
You know, Gaston is a lake that sets up really well for me. I don't know if it's just my eyes. I can see them better, but I can't tell you how many times I've sight fished for 100 bass in the tournament day and had 90% of the guys in there be like, man, they ain't on beds yet. And I'm like, yeah.
You are correct. Like,
Yeah.
out there.
So,
yeah,
but-
stay deep.
but it's, if they're not, then, you know, I'll probably, if they're not, it sets up really well for a pre-spawn largemouth pattern,
Right.
you know, stumps and stuff like that. So that's what I think I'm going to try it again. I think I got probably one more tournament in me trying to commit to that largemouth without actually breaking through and winning.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, even if you don't win, if you're hunting for big fish,
You're still having a
it's
good day.
fun, right?
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah.
So we'll see. You know, it all depends on what it's like when we get down there.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays you got you know forward-facing sonar guys that you really can't. If you're not on them with that largemouth pattern, those guys are going to get you because they're going to get those 3-pound spots with the with their little minnow.
Yeah.
So it's I may have to do some of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the cool thing too is that the entire reason that we're talking about how you can catch them and it's conducive to doing this and you can do that, that's, again, bringing it back, the reason why the schedule is set up that way. The schedule is set up that way so that we're going to the best opportunity to catch the biggest fish, the most fish, and do it however you want.
Right.
You know, we don't set up the schedule to pigeonhole somebody into working one technique, which doesn't work anyway. I'm going to go to the lake and I'm going to do the technique that I want to do. Like you said, it's not going to work every time. But the thing is, the Fish on Bass Angler schedule is set up that way so that in the spring you have the best opportunity to catch the biggest fish on the best lake.
Yeah. Well, and that specific tournament could be, I mean, you talk about extremes, like it could be won by somebody with like a 3/4 ounce swim jig up in muddy water, power fishing, braid, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Could be won that way.
Yeah. It's one of those
On
lakes
largemouth.
where you do
It
your
could
favorite
also
thing.
it could also be won 20 feet deep with a 2.5-inch minnow, 20 feet of water for a 3-pound spotted bass.
Right.
Like either one of those is kind of
Right.
just as likely to win. And that's a really fun tournament lake, right? Because you can commit to one, you can commit to the other, you could try to do like it's a strategy game.
Right.
That's the fun part about it. It's not just like we're all going to go do this, we're all going to throw the same thing, we're all going to catch the same fish. Like, you know, it's neat.
Well, it worked in the fall this year too. Just the classic that we just had there. The guy that won it was doing something that probably no one else was doing.
Yeah.
Pretty much the entire field was not doing that. Maybe caught one or two
Right.
doing what they were doing. But like, I tried it.
Yeah.
Didn't catch him that way.
Right.
I went right back to the crankbait.
Yeah.
Threw the crankbait, had a good day. That's
Yep.
the way I want to fish. And I got third. So like I did okay too. But you know, it's one of those things where, again, going back to the reason that we set the schedule, why we do it, the lakes that we fish on are supposed to be the most fun. Everybody's supposed to go out there and have a good time.
I think, bold prediction. I think our big bag of the year and our big fish of the year is going to be settled
In the first tournament.
possibly in March,
I think it's
but definitely,
First
I think
year.
by the middle of May, I think that's locked up, done. Both of them. I don't think it's going to change like that with those two tournaments, and then Anna again in the middle of May, which should be post spawn, fry garters, fish biting everywhere, all over the place. I think we're going to lock up those two plaques, trophies. By
I think
then.
they're going to be in the first tournament.
Yeah, I think Big Fish for sure is
Yeah.
done.
Like I think
March 28th,
fish-
3 p.m.
Yeah.
Big Fish is over.
I think the end of the first tournament day, those trophies are going to be locked for the
Yeah.
rest of the year. The only I think the only one that's going to have a chance is Chickahominy.
Yeah, Chick could do it. I don't know if
There's
it's a
always
big bag though.
but-
Big Fish maybe. I don't
It's
see
July,
big bag.
so you never know. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I think
We'll get there when we get there.
But it could be if we have a cold spring and it's nasty weather out there. I mean, that first Anna tournament, it could be a 13, 14 pound kind of grinder. So
I mean, that does happen too.
it happens, right?
Yeah.
Like it could be, but we're going to be optimistic and we're going to say we're going to have a good spring,
Right.
And that's just going to be a smash fest,
Right.
But
I mean,
But-
we set it up as good as we can set it up. Now we'll see how it plays out with weather, but like it couldn't be any more primed for
Yeah.
success.
Yeah.
But then it all comes down to the people that fish it, right? So we're already locked in. We know we're going to be around for this season. There are people out there that are still thinking about what they're going to fish. What am I going to fish next year? What trail am I going to do? Well, we just laid out the first two tournaments of the year. You know what they're going to be. You know where we're going to be. Now all you have to do is join us out there and try to beat us at these tournaments.
Yep.
Go to fishonbassanglers.com. Check out our schedule for 2026. Check out the website. Check out all the fish catches, and we'll see you on the water.
Sold.
How long was that?
But she said she wasn't ready.